All right, today we are diving into a really strange and honestly fascinating idea about the afterlife. It's this thought that suggests the hardest part isn't the act of dying itself, but what happens in those first few moments right after. I mean, seriously, just chew on that for a second. What if your consciousness, your mind, just keeps on going, but you're so stuck in the lifelong habit of being alive that you can't even recognize that you're not anymore? That specific, profound confusion is the exact problem we are going to unpack today.
So, here's our roadmap. First, we're going to look at why so many spirits apparently get lost in this initial fog. Then, we'll get a peek into some pretty surreal conversations with them, and we'll see the shocking moments that finally, break through that wall of denial. And most importantly, we're going to find out how a simple piece of knowledge could be the key to avoiding this whole mess in the first place.
Okay, so the central problem, according to this perspective, is that a huge number of souls find themselves in this state of just deep, deep confusion right after death. Maybe they were hardcore materialists, or maybe the idea of an afterlife just never, ever crossed their mind. Whatever the reason, they literally don't have a mental category for what's just happened to them. And get this isn't supposed to be a rare thing. The source material describes this as a maddeningly common problem. Just try to imagine it. You're trying to convince someone they aren't alive when their every thought, their every feeling is screaming that they are. For them, it's a total breakdown of reality as they know it.
So, how does this denial actually play out? This is where it gets really strange. The source gives us this fascinating glimpse into the kinds of conversations that are used to help these spirits see the truth. And it's not a quick fix, it's a very careful process of chipping away at a lifetime of assumptions. It all starts with simple logic. You can't just walk up and say, "Hey, you're dead." It won't compute. So instead, you ask a really basic question, something tied directly to physical existence. A question like, "So when was the last time you sat down and actually ate some food?" And this, right here, is where the first crack in their reality starts to appear. They search their memory, and they come up with a really shocking answer. They realize it hasn't been hours or even days, but years since they've eaten. Now, a living person would starve in a week, tops, yet they feel totally fine. And the confusion really starts to bubble up. But that denial is powerful. Their go-to defense is to point to the immediate evidence. I'm conscious, I'm thinking, I'm having a conversation with you. To them, this is undeniable proof of life. How could they possibly be dead if they're arguing with you right now? But when that kind of gentle logic just isn't enough, something a lot more direct is needed to break through. And this is where physical proof becomes pretty much the only way to create that shocking aha moment of realization. This leads to a pivotal moment, often called the hand test. After a spirit insists I'm alive and kicking, they're challenged to do something really simple. Okay, try putting your hand through your own chest. They go to do it, totally expecting to feel solid flesh, but their hand passes right through their body like it's mist. In that single impossible moment, their entire reality just shatters. And here's another really powerful argument. This one for someone who might have died in a fire. The logic is brutal, but it is crystal clear. You show them the ashes of their home, and you use an analogy they just can't ignore. A piece of steak left on a fire that hot would be nothing but charcoal. Their body is no different. So if their physical body's gone, what is this version of them that's still here, thinking and observing everything? So this all leads to a crucial question. How does anyone avoid this state of prolonged confusion? Well, the solution proposed in the source is surprisingly straightforward, and it has a lot more to do with knowledge than it does with faith. The key is something called post-death knowledge. Now, this isn't about deep religious belief or anything like that. It's simply having a mental category, a file folder for the possibility of an afterlife. Even if you don't fully believe it, just knowing the concept exists gives your consciousness a place to file the experience when it happens. And the difference it makes is, well, dramatic. Without any knowledge, a soul can stay stuck in a state of confused denial for years, literally. But with even a basic mental map, that realization can happen in just a matter of days. It acts like a key, unlocking their awareness and allowing for a much, much smoother transition. And you can see the impact of this knowledge visually, right here. People with deep abiding faith tend to realize what's happened almost instantly. But what's really fascinating is that those with just simple, even skeptical knowledge are not far behind them at all. The biggest drop-off, by far, is for those with no mental framework whatsoever.
even a little bit of preparation provides a massive advantage. So, after exploring all of this, what's the ultimate takeaway? What does this perspective suggest we should be doing, in our lives right now? The core message isn't really a call to believe in any one specific system. It's a call for mental preparation. It frames this knowledge not as a matter of spirituality, but as a practical tool, like a map you might want to have in your back pocket, just in case the journey takes an unexpected turn. So we'll just leave you with this final thought. Beyond all the belief or disbelief, the idea here is a simple and pragmatic one. Have you at least created a mental file folder for this possibility? Is your mind prepared for what might come next? Thanks for joining me.